Hey, how's it going? This is Luke Stokes. It's Friday, December 20th at just after 11:11 a.m. and I'm going to do a recording on the Morpheus Smart Agent repo. There's some really cool stuff going on here, and I want to make sure I show it to all you guys so you can get a chance to check it out yourself. What we're going to do here is jump right into more.org. And if you scroll down a little bit, you see this install more agents locally. That brings you over to the repo. And keep in mind, the website is constantly changing. Links are going to change. This is just what it is as of today. And so, what is the More Agent repo? It's basically an ecosystem sandbox for agent developers. If you're building smart agents and you want to figure out how to integrate them into the Morpheus ecosystem, that's what this is for. It's not like a finished product, a consumer product, anything like that. It's more just a sandbox for developers, but it's still got some cool stuff that it's worth playing around with. For example, you can do dollar cost average swaps. You can do different things like that right within the chat interface. It pulls up these nice little widgets. You can do images. You can even tweet. It can generate tweets for you and send them out, which is pretty awesome. So that's what we're going to dive in today. We're going to show a few different features. The first, these are different instructions on how to set up the different smart agents. But the first thing you want to do is get it installed. You're going to need a good amount of RAM to do that. You go ahead and download this package here and go ahead and run it. And a couple things to keep in mind, which I ran into a little bit of trouble with, is that if you don't already have Docker installed, the install might fail. And all the reason for that is that as part of the install, it does install Docker, but then it pops up like a thing you have to check to say, hey, I agree to the terms and services and things like that. And at the moment, it kind of messes up the installer. So if that happens to you, if you install it and you're like, why is it not working? Just go ahead and run the installer again after you open up Docker Desktop and approve all the different settings and things. Now, if it does hang during that installation, you might also not be able to get the full Llama model. If you start it up and you go into your Docker logs, which I'll show you how to do, and you get this error, Llama not found, try pulling it first, then you just run a Llama pull from your own terminal on your computer, and you'll be able to grab that. Once that downloads, restart everything, you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and assume you've already run that. After the installation is successful, it'll take a little while. It'll run quite a bit, and it'll be downloading stuff in the background. So just give it a chance. And then once you have it installed, you can just click it right here. So this is running right now. It's going to take a little while to boot up. Once it's done booting up, it's going to go ahead and open up a browser window to localhost where it's actually running. And so while that's running in the background, I'm also going to open up Docker so you can kind of see what's going on. So you can see it's starting to load these up, starting to fire this up. The other thing you can do once it is running, click on view details, and you can see these are the logs. So this is where if you're running into errors or things aren't working correctly, you can go ahead and check the logs. So now we just see it just popped up. Looks like we got signed out of Docker. That's interesting. Let's see. Let's see if it's running here. Yep, there we go. Localhost. So it looks like it's still loading up. Let's make sure everything's running as it should. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and say hello. Yeah, it looks like it's still loading. So while that's loading, we're going to jump right into the next piece of this. So we want to do two things. One, we want to set up our Twitter configuration with our API, and we want to set up our Coinbase wallet configuration so that we can do some trades with Coinbase. So go ahead and click on this here, open this up. And this has the Twitter installation information. The one part that's tricky on this is you can't just go to your developer portal here and get up and running. You have to create a project first. That tripped me up a little bit. I had it all configured, had all my keys set, and it just wasn't working. I was like, why is it not working? And it's these further details. You have to make sure you set your read and write permissions. So follow all of these in detail. And again, you're going to be here if you go all the way down to developers under kind of hard to find, but under additional resources, developers, or you can just go right to developer.x.com. Go ahead and log in, click over here to the developer portal. That's going to bring you over here. Create your default project. And by default, the permissions aren't going to be correct. You're going to want to blow those out and reset them up because you're going to need right here, as it says, read, write, and direct messages permissions. So you're going to go ahead and generate these keys, set up your bearer token, your access token, your client ID, client secret, all that information. And once this gets up and running, let me refresh this, see if we're going yet. Nope, still not running. Let's see here. Come back here. And it looks like this guy needs to start. I'll get that fired up. Let's see if that works. There we go. Now we're back. All right. So yeah, I'm not sure why that didn't start. Looks like it didn't shut down properly previously. So now we're up and running. We've got our agents model. We've got our front end, everything set up. Let me see if I got my wallet. So I don't have a wallet in here yet. But in settings, under the Twitter API, this is where you set your API key, API secret, access token secret, and bearer token. It comes in a slightly different order. Your bearer token's here first, not at the bottom. But these are all the values you need to put in there. Once you get those all set up, you're good to go to send a tweet. So let's say, create a tweet for me about the Bitcoin. Let's see about buying the Bitcoin dip. Let's see what that comes up with. And again, we can check the logs and see like what's going on here. If we pull this open, view details, we can see it's working on all this. We just watched the market plunge and I'm snatching up all the Bitcoin I can get. When the dust settles, I'll be swimming in crypto gold, Bitcoin dip investing. Let's try again. Just bought the dip on this. Wait, just bought in on this dip. Bitcoin dip. Low is my floor. Anyone else biting? Let's try. Just bought the crash. I'm feeling like a genius. So anyway, you can sit here and um, don't let FOMO dictate your moves. Invest in what's next big thing while others panic. There you go. Let's tweet that one out. Tweet sent successfully. So then we go. Let's check our Twitter over here, and let's see if it worked. Just watch Bitcoin plummet. Time to buy the dip. Don't let FOMO dictate your uh, tweet created by Morpheus. So that's pretty fun. So that's the Twitter agent, which can do tweets on your behalf. Let's take a look now at the Coinbase gasless sends of USDC and also dollar cost averaging. Pretty exciting stuff. Go ahead and pop this guy open, and you can see here how to set that all up. We're going to actually walk through that. It's important to get this right. So when you come into your API key management on Coinbase. You can do it from here and create API key, or you can click on Advanced API and it'll send you over to the full developer portal. So it can be a little confusing which one is which, but you do want to get secret API keys and you can just do create API key. We're going to call this test. Restrictions, we're going to go ahead and make sure it can trade on our behalf. You could put in your IP address if you want to lock it down a little bit. That's fine. Now, this is important. It's going to create this key. Actually, we got to do two-factor authentication. So one moment. I'm going to stop my share for a second. There we go. As I hit this here, let me get my little login here. Sign in with passkey. Good to go. And once this downloads, what you're going to actually get is a JSON file, and you want to save that file. In that file are going to be the values you need to plug into your wallet system. Let's see here. It looks like Coinbase is having a little trouble connecting. Make sure both eyes are connecting. Bluetooth is on. Oh, maybe I got to turn Bluetooth on. Let me double check that. Might have Bluetooth turned off. I think I might. Let's see here. No, Bluetooth is on. Okay, we're good. Try that again. There we go. Signed in. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And you'll see the first thing that pops up is this, hey, I'm going to save this JSON. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then here are my keys. Now, clearly, I'm going to delete this before you see this video. So don't bother trying to hack me with this. But this will allow anyone to do a trade for my account, which is a big deal. So I've saved it. I've got that file as well, which has both of these values. And I click I've saved my key. So now I'm up and running. And I head back over to my agent that is running on localhost. Under settings, Coinbase API, we're going to go ahead and drop those values in. Paste that in. paste that in. Save credentials. We can go in here and just double check no errors or anything. Cool. Posted that to Coinbase. Everything's good. So now we're going to create our wallet. I'm going to call this test. Create wallet. Let's see what happens. All right, cool. And this is on base mainnet. And now if I click on wallet, we can see we've got a wallet here. Pretty awesome. If I copy that, that's going to be my wallet address. I'm going to need that later. Now I can say, what is my USDC balance on base? And it says you have a zero balance. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do two things. I'm going to send some USDC to this wallet, and I'm also going to send some Ethereum because I want to be able to do the dollar cost averaging, which is kind of an automated purchase of Bitcoin or selling of Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever. So I got to send some to this. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to my MetaMask. I've got some tokens here. We're going to go ahead and send some USDC coin. We'll paste that in and let's just do $5. So I'm sending $5 to this wallet. Now it's important also to keep track of that information for the wallet. So hit confirm. That's going in there. While that's loading up, now one thing you want to do here, which I should do right away, is I've got this wallet, is you want to download the details on that wallet. Save that wallet because if you restart this Docker container, you might lose that wallet. And you can always just come in here and say, create new wallet. And instead of create new, you can do restore from existing, put in that JSON file and your wallet's back up and running. So that's an important step. Make sure you don't miss that. I don't want you to lose any money. All right, so let's take a look. That's confirmed. Let's go back and say that again. What is my USDC balance on base? And there we go, 5 USDC. Pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and send some Ethereum as well. So I have some money to do some gas. And click some, paste that same address in. And we're going to we'll just send like 50 cents. Base is pretty cheap. So, well, maybe 75 cents. All right, 75 cents. Send it over. Yeah, two pennies to do that. Pretty awesome. I'll wait for that to finish up. And we can say, what is my ETH balance on base? Let's see if it's done. Confirmed. Oh, unable to process a request. So it sometimes has some issues, and I think it might actually do with the Coinbase API. So let's see what happened here. It says unable to process the request. So sometimes that can happen. Let's try again. There we go. Now that worked. All right. So now we're going to say, I'd like to swap USDC for ETH on base. And this pulls up the swap agent, which is pretty awesome. And we're going to swap, let's say, $1. So we're going to swap $1 swap tokens. Now it doesn't show you like a loading screen or anything like that. It just says, okay, it's been submitted. And we're going to go ahead here, just double check. We've got a trade completed, swaps executed successfully. That's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and take a look at our wallet here. Copy that. We're going to go over to Basescan, paste in that address, and we'll take a look at it. And let's see here. Looks like we have that transaction from 25 seconds ago. And there we go. We swapped $1 for wrapped Ethereum. Pretty freaking cool. All right, now let's go back in and let's say, okay, I want to DCA USDC for Ethereum on base. And there you go. So now we got our DCA strategy. So we're going to go ahead and pick wrapped Ethereum. We're going to do, let's say $1 each. We're going to do total investment amount. We'll do $3. We're going to do this every minute, and we could go into advanced settings if we like. Let's see what we got here. Minimum purchase, all that kind of stuff, and you can set your price thresholds, change it during volatility, but that's all good. We're not going to worry about that too much. And let's execute the strategy. And let's see what we got from Docker. Coinbase API keys. Just estimate time completion and ongoing strategy. So if I go in here under workflows, now we see DCA, USDT to wrapped ETH. Next run is 3:28 and 13 p.m. Let's go ahead and double check our address here. We got that going. There you go. It's checking the workflow. USDC to ETH. And that should hit here shortly. And what's really cool about this is, again, you can start kind of using this eventually, using this agent tool. And while we're waiting to see, show me a funny cat picture. Oh, create a funny cat picture image. And while that's working, let's take a look and see if we got our DCA hit. Not yet. Yeah, there's our cat picture. Rawr. All right, let's take a look here and see what's going on with our workflow. Looks like it should have hit. There we go. Trade. Trade completed. Trade executed successfully. Wallet balance 4. Amount 1. Pretty awesome. So let's refresh this. There we go. 26 seconds ago, using 1 inch, it went ahead and did the trade. $1 for wrapped ETH, and that'll keep going for the next few minutes. So there you go. That's how you can do dollar cost averaging. So what we just demonstrated is the Twitter API bot, the image bot, all these different smart agents. If you go under settings, you can see there's a whole bunch of cool agents, image generator, base transaction manager, oh yeah, data fetcher. So you can say, what is the price of Bitcoin? And if you pull up the logs, you can see it's going to figure that out. Price of Bitcoin is 96,755. Pretty awesome. And there you get a nice little chart. Ooh, nice little dip there. Feel the pain, you long sellers. Yeah, that's it. And that's the Morpheus Smart Agent system. There are plenty of agents here. You can use them as examples to build your own. If you dive into the GitHub repo here, there's a README for how to set up your own agent. So this kind of explains, all the different details, how to set this up, how to set up your agent, all that kind of stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. This is just getting started. Again, this isn't a final product. I think next year probably there will be cool little products that you can use based on Morpheus and Morpheus Smart Agents, such as the dollar cost averaging bot that you can use personally, privately on your own computer, which is pretty cool, or any others that you might create. So definitely check it out and understand that this is, again, a developer sandbox. It's not a final customer end product for retail yet, but it's a place to play around with agents. So hopefully you found that useful. Hope you have an awesome, amazing day. Take care.